Ukraine appears to be reaching its crisis point, with Russia expected to launch an all-out assault on the country tonight. Ukraine's main towns have now been hit by as many as 250 missiles, and Russian troops are now on the ground in the city of Kharkiv. Residents in the capital Kiev are tonight taking cover amid fears Russia could unleash its deadliest weapon yet. Nine's Euro correspondent Curry-Ann Greenbank leads our coverage.
The sound and the pulsing glow of a country under attack. The city of Kharkiv in eastern Ukraine under fire. More than 250 missiles have now been launched by Russian forces, turning to rubble any claim by the Kremlin it's only targeting military sites. But in a symbol of resistance, the Ukrainian soldier walks resolutely into battle, cradling his anti-tank missile underarm. This is Europe today, unthinkable just a week or two ago. By morning in Kharkiv just hours ago, Russian patrol vehicles breaking through the central part of the city, rolling through the streets as residents were told to remain in shelters. In the country's capital, Kiev, nowhere is safe, but bravery is everywhere. These women, machine guns in hand, joining the front line to fight.
I just want to live in our country, and that's all.
Their city is under siege, a civilian apartment block blasted by a missile. The wounded were carried away, 6 people seriously injured and at least 2 killed. The United Nations says the invasion has so far killed at least 240 Ukrainians, including 3 children, a figure which in reality is believed to be much higher. The intensity of fighting on Kiev streets evident in burnt-out military vehicles, which Ukrainian forces say was a Russian convoy. As night fell, now familiar sounds echoed across the capital. There was this roar in the middle of the night, says this 89-year-old woman who hid in the cellar while she heard blasts for an hour. President Zelensky telling the nation his army still controls Kiev. They wanted to block the centre of our state and settle their puppets here. We broke their plans. And on a US offer to evacuate him, he said, "The fight is here. I need ammunition, not a ride." Just south of the capital, another Russian strike, sending a missile straight into an oil depot. Thick plumes of smoke swallowing the sky. But firefighters can't reach the raging flames. They're blocked by Russian forces who are moving to take over the Vasylkiv air base. It's a key corridor into Kiev. Former professional boxer turned Kiev Mayor Vitaly Klitschko warned of saboteurs in the city. A curfew is now in place until Monday morning, as his brother, former world champion Vladimir Klitschko, made a plea to the world.
Just today, civilians were shot by the rockets. With special operations, civilians getting killed. And it's happening in the heart of Europe.
And ordinary civilians showed extraordinary courage to the north of Kiev, stepping in front of Russian tanks to stop their advance, at least for a while. In Dnipro, in central Ukraine, more people power. This city has so far evaded attack by Russian forces, but its people are preparing.
Hundreds and hundreds of people here in Dnipro who have come to the centre of town, and they are in the process here, in this section, of making Molotov cocktails.
Putin said that in Ukraine the people will meet Russian soldiers with the flowers and preparing the Molotov cocktail. this is the flowers for Putin.
And others formed long queues at recruiting offices. Britain's Ministry of Defence says the speed of the Russian advance has slowed because of strong Ukrainian resistance and logistical difficulties. These Russian tanks in eastern Ukraine left stranded on the side of the road.
Сломались, пацаны. Сломались. Можно тащить на Россию обратно.
But signs from inside Russia of reinforcements being sent in.
As the Russians moving more heavy equipment towards Ukraine.
As British intelligence warns, the capture of Kiev remains Russia's primary military objective. The streets of Kiev now eerily quiet apart from the sound of bells tolling. Shops and restaurants closed, some buildings boarded up in preparation for what's to come. A guarded city as Putin's troops mobilise its fearsome airburst weapons system, a deadly super-powered bomb capable of vaporising populations and reducing cities to rubble. But Ukraine is fighting back with a resistance the Kremlin didn't expect. The country's air force claiming it has shot down a Russian helicopter, and at least 200 more of those damaging missiles are now on their way to Ukrainian forces.
And our Euro correspondent, Kari-Anne Greenbank, is in Kiev tonight. Kari, you're in a bunker. Can you show us what you're seeing there?
Well, Pete, we're in the our hotel, which doubles as a bunker, and we will all be here for at least the next full day because of that curfew. Now, we'll show you around. So there are mattresses laid out for people to sleep on. Other people have been sleeping in their cars or on chairs. We're down here at the moment with around a dozen other people. So that includes hotel staff members, families with young children and people with their pets as well. We are in a really fortunate position here because the staff are still supplying us with basic food and water, but many other people aren't in that position, and aid agencies are now trying to work out how to get supplies. Before we came in, we had a really brief chance to speak with some Ukrainian soldiers, and they didn't want to be filmed, but they acknowledged that they are feeling nervous about what's to come. For now, at least, Pete, Kiev remains in their control.
All right, Kari-Anne Greenbank in Kiev, thank you.
For breaking news, turn to Peter Overton, nightly at 6.
So the huge lines with the woman with a lot of kids and the luggage. They were trying to reach the border whole night. It was cold outside. We were sitting inside the cars and trying to help them, but they wanted just to reach the border and not to stay in the cars. So they were in priority. They were passing the border first, then cars. The cars were moving like 2 cars per 1 hour. We reached the border. Hallelujah. I was standing in line with me because he needs to reach her to the border and can't reach the border. So I took this girl with a little beautiful dog, and my daughter and she became friends. We are in unity with each other. I want also to tell about the volunteers. It was great to see a woman who give some food, some coffee very much. We are tired, we are exhausted.